dahil excited na tayong lahat, start na Michael, ipakilala mo na ang keynote speaker.
Ready na ba kayo guys na makilala ang ating keynote speaker? Alam nyo ba na pangalawa niya na magtutalk dito sa ating GDSCNU Baliwag? At yung unang first webinar series niya is all about keeping the burning passion of pursuing information technology through organization and joining webinars. And yung ating speaker is early exposed in technology field kaya sobrang knowledgeable na siya when it comes to technology. And at this moment, we would like to introduce our keynote speaker. She is a computer science graduate, magna cum laude, a content creator, seasoned public speaker and mentor, former application analyst, technical community manager, and social media specialist. She is currently the technical support specialist and KCS coach of Partech Incorporation.
She is also an Angel Hack ambassador and mentor of Impact Hackathon. She shares her knowledge with various universities and tech companies about the fundamentals of web development, web design, information security, database system, and automation.
She is an advocate for social participation and has been engaging with tech communities to share her knowledge and experience in tech industry. She aspired to be a computer science professor and a cybersecurity analyst.
Live na live tayo sa ating MS Teams and Facebook. Kaya sa lahat ng ating Googlers and Nationalian, if may question kayo or insight, isulat nyo na yan sa papel or i-note sa inyong mga computers. And after magbahagi ng ating keynote speaker, ay mabibigyan tayo ng pagkakataon para maitanong ito sa kanya. I hope ready na ang lahat. Please welcome Miss Atcha Abe. Please give her a big hand.
Hello, hi, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes po, ma'am.
Ayan, wait lang. Ayaw daw ipakita ni Teams yung camera ko. See, I'll try again. Ayaw daw. It's not letting me turn on my camera, guys. Let's see.
Check mo
Ano
natin
kaya?
kung ano.
Niya, ayaw niya i-on yung camera. Wait, baka sa settings ko yun. Lumipat kasi ako sa browser kasi hindi ko nakita yung chat nyo. Here. Wait. But I'll begin by sharing my screen so we can save time then. Ayan. Alright. Okay. Sayang din niyo ako nakikita. Pero, wait. Ayaw talaga niya. But, okay. Well, we will start later. Don't worry. Maybe, hopefully, in the Q&A or in the middle of this talk, I'll be able to show myself to you guys. Kasi sabi sa akin, naka-projector daw kayo dyan sa inyo Baliwag. Ayan. Pero, thank you for that wonderful introduction, host Donna and John Michael. And I'm so happy to be back again speaking with you guys and learning with you at NU Baliwag. And also for our Facebook Live viewers, hello sa inyo. Just chat and let me know that you are here. Let us know where you're watching and saang school kayo, school that you represent. All right. But just want to confirm with everyone then if you can see my share screen.
Yes po.
Kita na po.
Ayan, thank you. All right, so let's begin. I've already been introduced. I'm currently based in San Diego, California, USA. It's currently evening here, and I just graduated last year, and I've been sharing the knowledge and my experiences when it comes to tech. I started working when I was third year college, and I during that time also experienced creating applications and also engaging with other professionals, especially in the field of game development. And I appreciate Sir Eric's introduction kasi hindi ko sinama yung history of game dev dito. Ay, wait lang. I think I know the reason why di ko ma-turn on yung cam. How about now? Ayan, okay na? Okay. Ayan. All right, all good? Ewan ko kung nawala ako, let me know.
Yes po, okay na po.
Ayan.
po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Ayan, so kaya pala di ko maayos yung cam ko guys kasi dalawa yung teams na nakabukas. Pero ayan, okay na. Alright, so in every talk that I do, I want it to be engaging and I want you to participate kasi doon natin malalaman kung natututo ba kayo sa mga webinars na piniprepare ng GDSCNU Baliwag sa inyo. So in the chat, let me know the first thing na pumapasok sa isip nyo when you hear the word game. Ayan. In Zoom, to sanay ako sa Zoom. In Teams, napakadami natin dito. We're 51 plus. So, let me know in the chat. Hopefully, I can see the chat now then. Ayan. Wait, mag-chat ako, test. Ayun, competitive, sabi ni Kenneth. How about the others? Entertainment, entertaining and fun. Dialogues, very good. Way to relieve stress, sabi ni Paolo. For fun, something that you enjoy. For fun. Ayan. Based on your answers, I can see that for you guys, games are a way for you to relieve stress. Ayan, to entertain yourselves, to pass time. Game is stressful, Lex. Ayan, pass time for socializing, to gain new friends. Sure ka ba dyan, John? Friends talaga. Ayan, but kidding aside, sometimes stress reliever, sometimes not. True. Virtual world. Totoo yan. Parang when you engage yourself in a game, parang nasa out of this world ka. Sabi ni Paolo, increase friends bond. Ayan, very good. Napaka-active ng students from NU Baliwag. But since the topic is game development, ano naman yung pumapasok sa isip nyo when you hear the word development? Ayan, dito sa word na to, I expect ko may mga hugot na siguro kayo dyan. Ayan. How about the word development? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word development? Ladder, creation, animation, improvement. Very good. You guys have unique answers. How about the others? Programming, process. Programming, create. Sure kayo hindi kayo nag-chat GPT ha? Stressful. Ayan, progress. Process from simplicity to complexity. Very good. Ayan. Very good, guys. And with your answers, dito nyo palang madedefine nyo na agad what game development is. Game from the description of entertainment, relating to what you're immersing yourself into, and also a way for you to experience yung out of this world feeling na you'll be able to connect with other people, may it be locally or from different parts of the world. And also for that to happen, for you to be able to put yourself in that type of experience is, of course, we need to create. The developers need to create. And in order for development to happen, you need to create a process or you need to do programming, which is what development is. Ayan. Okay, I'm going to share a video, but I'm not sure how Teams, does it automatically share the sound? Also, let me know, baka mamaya mahina pala net ko. Nandiyan pa ba kayo? Ayan, thank you. Does it automatically share the sound?
Yes po.
All right, okay. Sige. I will share i-share ko yung buo kong screen. Sana wala akong ma-expose. Ayan. So, ito yung unang video natin. Kasi nagluloko yung PowerPoint for some reason. So many technical difficulties, guys. But here's the first video. Can you hear it?
Wala pa po.
Wala. Paano kaya yun? Walang sound.
Doon po ma'am sa share content po, nakalagay po doon yung include computer sound po kapag nag-share screen po kayo ma'am.
Ayun. Tech speaker, si Atcha, di marunong. Wait lang. Ayun. May lilitaw. Ayun. Alam mo, thank you. Ayan, isa pa. One more. Ito. Ayan.
Okay na po.
All right. So this is actually a sneak peek or a what I don't know how do people mostly call that? Pero sneak peek of our game launch before. So initially, when I was invited to do this talk, I was asked to do a talk about game development. Ang sabi ko talaga nung una, would you be needing help from me to connect you to an expert game developer? Pero sabi daw, you guys are interested to learn the introduction of game development. So maybe this is something talaga na meant for me to share with you guys because last 2017, when I was in senior high school, kami kasing unang batch ng K to 12 and I met people, 600 kaming senior high school students and I met these um, passionate men na who wanted to create a startup. Hindi pa uso yung startup noon way back in 2017 and a virtual reality at that time then was emerging. And they reached out to me. Honestly, nakalimutan ko na kung paano kami nabuo pero iba-iba kami ng section. And I joined the team. We created Ottergy Entertainment. We created different games. And tamang-tama, while I was creating this presentation, it's also Women's Month. I'm the only girl in the team. We create 2D games, as you have seen. We created 4 games. And I'm going to share you a story behind Ottergy Entertainment, what it is, before we proceed with the technicalities about game development. So we were a group of 5 people, actually 4 kasi 4 na lang kami natira. And what Ottergy means is to do things independently or in your own hands. If you're going to search what the word Ottergy means. The reason why we chose Ottergy Entertainment is because hindi namin alam kung ano yung ginagawa namin. And ito din yung purpose ng talk is for you to understand how games are created and why is it created. To have to give you like a guideline on how to do game development, especially if you want to pursue a game development career then in the future or after you graduate. So here we had Ottergy Entertainment. Nasa may Facebook page din kami if you want to scroll then while you're listening. So we're a group of 5 people, became 4. We just wala kaming guide. Nobody helped us. We don't know any experts how to create games. We just used our resources. We're very thirsty for knowledge and iba-iba kami ng skill set that time. I was focused on the financing and also designing the games. That time, mga lang namin is Adobe Animate, Adobe Flash, Photoshop, and then some of my the other teams have different programming languages that they use then. Later, I will share them with you here. Yan, I have this saved in on my phone as well. But they have different skill sets na pinagsama-sama namin. We help each other when it comes to our strengths and weaknesses kasi we're very passionate in making this a reality, making Ottergy Entertainment a reality. Alright, so the team, ito yung mga throwback pics namin before 2017. Grabe, it has been how many years? 6 years? Grabe, ang tagal na. But ayan yung mga behind the scenes. We would just go to each other's house after school kasi that time, hindi din kami makagamit ng lab kasi limited lang yung time. Pero after school, talagang dedicated kami. We plan, we design, and also we conceptualize how we're going to create the game. So as you can see here, ginagawa nung isa naming game dev member, yung mga flows, he's using an application. I just don't know the exact kasi it's not with us anymore. And then ito kami, 5 kami. Dito, nagsisimula pa lang yung mga Oculus. Tapos, para nakakabili ata kami ng piso. So just to do some prototypes on how we're going to have our game be accessible on that type of device. Ayan. And then we created G Entertainment, and we also shared yung ginawa namin sa school namin, because back then we had an event, an entrepreneurial event wherein we would showcase yung mga products and services na ginawa namin. So we created our booth. Back then, wala akong laptop before. Nanghihiram lang din kami ng laptop. Doon kami nag-share, doon kami nag-create. Kahit naghihingalo na yung laptop ng isa, it came to the point na bumigay na talaga yung laptop kasi hindi kinaya ng processor and ng GPU nung game na ginagawa namin. So, nanghiram lang kami before, and on each laptop, as you can see, nandun din yung mga presentations, and the 3 phones in front, nandun yung tig-isang game na ginawa namin. So that's our booth before. Ayan. And we also had professors from different fields, hindi lang tech, to try our application. So we created an application about math. I forgot. I think it was about statistics or something. And then also we let the students play it. Before, since entrepreneurial event siya, they would pay 5 pesos to try our game in a limited amount of time. And then the challenge was for you to beat the high score. Ayan. Pag na-beat mo na yung high score, pag may nakita ka ng congratulations, so nakikita nyo accessible din siya sa parang tablet. And then you would get a prize. Ayan. Yung throwback picture ko dati, naka-braces pa ako niyan. Ayan. Unfortunately, bakit wala ng G Entertainment ngayon? Kasi nung nag-college na kami, iba-iba din yung gusto namin na field. I believe 2 lang sa amin ang nag-computer science, isang IT, and yung isa nag-MMA. And we used to, nasa isang school kami before, St. Paul University, Manila. However, ako na lang yung nagstay kasi I'm been a Polinian since kinder. Ayan, and dun din na talaga nagstay. That's where my heart is. But the other team members, they have went to their dream schools din. Ayan. And here's another video of the game that we created. Number 2. Ayan. So, Fluffy's Escape is one of the Android 2D games that we created. So, the concept of Fluffy's Escape is you have this character called Fluffy, and may yung mga walls niya or yung maze, sensitive siya. So, pag hinit mo siya, mamamatay agad si Fluffy. So, kailangan with the limited amount of time, maka-escape. Mapapalaya mo si Fluffy. So, that's one of the games. Ayan, let's go back. So, I've asked the team din, kasi it's been years since huli kami nag-usap with our, nagkahiwa-hiwalay din due to our college life. Pero we're planning, since na-brought up tong talk, we're planning to meet again this year. Hopefully, I'll go back to the Philippines, and we're going to plan to start and continue G Entertainment, and hopefully we're going to create games then in the future. Ayan, and to share then, one of the tools and technologies that we use to create this game is Buildbox, and then Godot Engine, one of the open source softwares Ayan. And if you are interested to learn more about these types of technologies, we have our Facebook page, Ottergy Entertainment, so you can directly connect with them as well. Kasi on my end, I'm more on the design side of during this time. Ayan. Okay. So question is, when it comes to game development, how do you really start making a game? So even if you're not interested to become a game developer, it's still important for us to know the concept or how games are being created. Why? Kasi in this way, mas ma-appreciate natin kung gaano pala kahirap gumawa ng game even though it may seem or look simpler than it is. And from there na you'll never realize yung impact pala na mabibigay sa'yo ng isang game na ginawa. And the story behind it and everything, the purpose and the goal. So the very first thing in creating a game is of course to know your scope. I know especially those na kaya sila nag-CSIT kasi gusto nila gumawa ng game. And they've been playing games growing up ever since. And ang dami niyong gustong gawin. The passion is there. Ang dami niyong gustong mga features from different games na gusto niyo ilagay or i-put into one application. But that's not how it should be, especially when you're starting. Why? Kasi it's important to know a scope and to know the goal of your application. Of course, it's best when you start creating a game, simple muna siya. Kasi pag simple, dun mo masisimulan mo i-apply yung mga fundamental knowledge when it comes to the technical side of things of game development. And then from there, once na you know or madali na lang sa'yo gumawa ng isang simple game, may it be, say, for example, kagaya ng mga ginawa namin before, Fluffy's Escape, Maze Game, those types of games are inspired by existing games already. And that is something that you can also start as your own personal project that you can also improve then later on, especially if you want to pursue a career in game development. And if not, you just want to challenge yourself. That's the way to do it. Second is to learn as you go. So we have YouTube University and many different resources. The team back then sila, they just sabi ko nga sa inyo, wala kaming connections or wala kaming experts to help us or what we now call in the community mentors. We don't have those people back then. It's just that we used our resources, the internet that is very powerful. It's up to you on how you can use it. And when it comes to game development, there's a lot of open source tools. Ayan, game engine tools na you can use then and practice creating an application. So always learn as you go when making a game. And practice makes, ayan, do you know the answer to this one? Di ko pa nakikita yung chat. Tingnan natin. Practice makes, ayan. Habang nagbabasa ako, nakikita ko yung chat nyo. Ayan. Miguel, may naalala po na character, ang cute. Miguel, cute po ng game. Ang galing. Thank you. Ayan. Practice makes perfect. Thank you, Han, sa pag-link. Ayan. Perfect. Very good. Ayan. Thank you. Alright. So, number 3 is linked din sa sinabi ko sa number 2 is skills is equals to our resources. Again, tayo, especially as students, even though kahit pagka-graduate nyo, the learning never stops talaga. Especially with the emergence of technology and in game development. It's always improving, it's always evolving, it's always innovating. That's why you don't have to worry na, Atcha, ang gagaling na ng mga ginagawa nilang game. Wala pa, parang konti pa lang natututunan ko. And it's okay. That's why you learn. That's why you learn the fundamentals, you learn the basics. And dun mo din, kung hindi ka pa sure right now, as a tech student, kung anong field yung gusto mo pursue. Is it game development? Is it web development? Nung nagtutok ako before, nung college student pa ako, yun din yung tinatanong nila sa akin. And one way for you to discover it is for you to explore and immerse yourself, especially in the field of game development. Dito mo malalaman if this is something for you or not for you. You may be in the game development field in the future, but you're mostly focused on animation kasi you're more skilled and it's more on your interest when it comes to animation. You're still in the game development field, but you're more on the creative team. Or if you're someone that likes to program, likes to code, mahilig ka sa puzzles, you can be on the programming team or development team. Then from there, it's always game development, hindi lang naman yan a one-man team na ikaw lahat from design, development, and everything to post-production. Of course, you help each other to balance out your strengths and weaknesses and um, help each other and provide resources that you have. Ayan. And number 4 is challenge. Ayan, basics are always important when it comes to creating a game. You shouldn't skip in yung mga complex things right away kasi basics are your fundamental, your foundation when it comes to creating a successful and sustainable game application. All right. So when I started, ayan, so college, at ano na tayo, fast forward to college. This was in not very long time ago. I would say 2021, 2 years ago. So in our game development class, fourth year kami nito, this was summer, we tinuruan kami ng prof namin to create a simple game. As in sobrang simple lang, makikita nyo later, using Unity and C Sharp. And ito yung result niya. Take note, first time lang namin sa game dev. So ito siya.
Okay. Paul, can you
Magana
post
na.
here your
Uy.
script error? Yung mga iba pwede na kayong mag-lunch break. Okay.
Ayan, pwede na daw sila mag-lunch break. Saya-saya ko niyan kasi napagana ko yung bunny kahit nakita nyo nakahiga pa siya. Parang okay ka pa ba, bunny? Ayan. Kasi makikita nyo, we're using Unity. And then here, may mga scenes. And later, I'll share them with you guys. And we have these images called the assets. Merong character kick 1, character kick 2, character stand. And then may platform. Nasaan si Bunny na nakahiga? Ayan siya. Character kick 1, character kick 2. And I don't know where the bunny that's lying down is. Pero, ayan siya. Nakita nyo, that's how simple it is to start creating a game. Hindi mo kailangan agad na malagad of war na yung gagawin nyo. So, kailangan nyo lang matutunan kung paano pagalawin ang isang character using your game engine. So, ayan siya. I think after nito, yung next activity namin was patalunin yung bunny. Pero I think ginawa ko dati nakahiga pa rin siya. So, ganyan. That's how you start. Ayan. Doesn't mean na need na tumatalon-talon na agad si bunny. So, that's how I started during our game development class. Ayan. And if you guys have any comments, just feel free to chat them. Ayan, I'm gonna look into it then. Ayun. But slowly, we're at the part now of the presentation getting more technical. So when you're going to create a game, you already know you should know the scope. You should learn as you go. You should identify your skills, resources, and also always take it as a challenge. But Atcha, how, or paano ba masabi na ang game or ang laro ay laro talaga? So what makes a good game is these examples here. So hindi siya limited lang dito, pero there's more. Especially if you're going to do more research, 'di ba nagkaroon recently, I believe it was 2 months ago or a few months ago, they had the Game Awards. Lalo na kung talagang game nerds kayo. Recently lang nagkaroon sila ng Game Awards. And ito yung isa sa mga parang naging criteria nila when it comes to choosing the Game of the Year award. So we have story or theme. Ayan. We have the inclusivity. Ano ba yung target users mo when it comes to the game? And how is it inclusive? How is it for different types of people in any age? Ayan. Replayability, originality. Ayan, how original it is. Consistency. Ito bang game na gagawin mo is mapapabalik mo yung mga tao na laruin at laruin siya to the point na hindi siya nakakasawa. There's always something new. Ayan, that the user or the gamer can explore in your application. And what makes a good game as a whole is your personal experience, how it created an impact to you as a user, So in any type of development field, you also have to consider ang magandang way din kasi diyan is to put yourself in the user's perspective. Kasi you wouldn't understand and appreciate yung magiging kung na-reach mo talaga yung goal if you don't understand what you're experiencing. So you test your game, ito ba ay effective or na naka-meet ba niya yung goal na gusto mong maramdaman or ma-experience? Do you want the gamer to feel scared if it's a horror type of game? Do you want the gamer to feel excited? Ayan, umiyak siya, ganyan. Those are the different types of personal experience goals na you can also see as a criteria when making a game. All right. Before I proceed, everyone all good? Galing daw. Ayan. Hi, Rans. Nandito si Rans. Okay. Di ko nakita yung Facebook kasi it's not loading well on my end. But if you're chatting, ayan, nakita ko si Rose sa chat. Ayan. Okay. So next, I want you to engage with me again. So based on what we've learned today and the criteria, I'm going to show you 3 slides of different games. So we have here Candy Crush and God of War. So let's go first with Candy Crush. Para sa inyo, what is your personal experience with Candy Crush? Parang dumidilim na dito. Ayan. Anybody? Dumadami na po pala tayo. Nasa 70 na ata tayo. Addictive, sabi ni Jonerline. Tama ba? Ayan. Relaxing, stress reliever, sabi ni Donna. How about the others? Easy to hard, every progress about levels. Challenging, age-friendly, yes. How about the others? Difficult, puzzle, madaming nanay na addict, totoo. So, Candy Crush shows you that mas ginagamit siya at binabalikan ng mga adults. Ayan, madaming levels na hindi achieve, cute po, easy to play, repetitive but addicting, patok sa matanda, sweet and simple mechanics. Yes, very good. How about God of War Ragnarok? If you have played the game God of War Ragnarok, ayan, anybody who played this game recently, need to think, sabi ni Chrislene. Good story, yes. Medyo may mga parts na nakakaiyak, di ba? Lalo na God of War Ragnarok really touches the father and son story. Ayan. Pastime, adventure, masaya. Good story, challenging. Took place in Norse mythology. Fun, awesomeness. Ayan, ma-action. Sabi ni Ruben, parang ano lang ano yun? Yung sa atin, si FPJ lang, ganun ba? Killing. Come here, boys. Ayan. Anybody else? Mukhang marami rin naglalaro. Good animation, yes. Very good animation. Thank you. Very good. So, as you can see, you guys been giving good feedback about yung naging personal experience nyo sa games na to. They're both different type of games, both different types of stories and themes. Merong pansin nyo, Candy Crush is more of something na it has different types. It's a level game and mostly patok sa mga matatanda. God of War, hindi niya masyado nasabi kung saan siya, kung saang demographic siya na-hit, no? Pero as you can see, it's more into our age group, diba? More on teenagers and young adults ang God of War Ragnarok. But if you're going to not really criticize, but give feedback to these games, let's go first with Candy Crush. What do you think is something Candy Crush can improve on? Sinungaling si Atreus. Ayan, Tyr is alive, namatay si Thor. May isa pang namatay dun sa game na yon. Ayun, anybody? What do you think is something that Candy Crush can improve on? Add story. Si Odin, yes. Add storyline para bang kagaya ng ginawa sa God of War Ragnarok. Ayan, anybody else? Totoo nga naman, walang story ang Candy Crush. Multiplayer, pwede. Very good. Platform yung Candy Crush. Sana po pwedeng cross-platform. Yes, infinite level, more levels. PPV, PVP. Gawin parang bookworm po na may kalaban. Ayan. So, gusto nyo interactive siya, hindi lang one end. Yes, add price po every level, mas damihan life. Gawing crypto, bakit hindi, di ba? As you can see, these are good ideas that you can create as your projects. You can create a simple Candy Crush game and put your suggestions, put your ideas into a reality. How about God of War? Candy Crush, sana play to earn. Ayan, yes, di ba? Any feedback for God of War or is it too good na wala kayong masabi sa Ragnarok? Ayan, God of War Ragnarok. Two goodies, multiple endings. Tama, totoo. Kaya maganda siya eh. Ayan. And pansin nyo, if you're going to create a game with different endings, para siyang kagaya sa Netflix na, ano nga ulit yung Netflix na iba-iba yung nagiging ending based sa decision na pinipili nyo. Same concept siya. Bandersnatch, yes, yun. That's a good way of creating a game then is you want the users or the players to balik-balikan yung game na ginawa nyo. Ayan, dapat di pinatay si Brock, yes. Kaya sumama loob ng kapatid niya eh, dahil namatay nga. Ayan. Anyway, moving on na tayo sa God of War, guys. We have more. We have Among Us and Sons of the Forest. Ayan. One of the popular games right now is Sons of the Forest. Second game ng The Forest. Let's go to Among Us. What is, do you think, kayo guys, please answer yes or no. Do you still play Among Us? Yes. No. Sige nga. Dumadami ang yes, dumadami ang no. Mas dumadami ang no. Sometimes, yes. Yup, no, paulit-ulit lang. No. Okay. So, as you can see, sabi ni Ruben, dead game. Hindi nyo na nalalaro ang Among Us. Kasi sabi nga ninyo, dead game na siya, pangit na. So, these are some observations as a player that you can see on this type of game, tulad ng Among Us. Parang limited lang, kahit damihan pa nila yung map sa isang game, it will still be boring kasi wala nang something new or thrill to it. Alright? How about Sons of the Forest? Have you tried to play it? I know it has been released. May early release sila this week yata. Have you tried it? Crack na daw yung Sons. I think it's $30 here. That's why magkano yun sa peso, medyo mahal din. Meron na po. Ayan. But if you're playing Sons of the Forest or you're watching these videos, the reason why I put this here in the presentation kasi early release pa siya. And if you're going to put a game in early release, based din sa mga feedback, kasi my coworkers also play this game, and ang dami nilang napapansin na bug. And then from there, it will help the developers know what to improve in the game if you put your game in an early release type of production. So, ayun siya. Sons of the Forest. And I believe this is the last question that I have here. Medyo throwback tayo, Tito. Pet Society tsaka Cooking Mama. Okay, my question for you guys is, ano mas gusto nyo? Pet Society or Cooking Mama at bakit? Ayan. What's your answer? Ano mas bet nyo? Pet Society or Cooking Mama at bakit? So, ayan. Pet Society, Cooking Mama lang malakas. Pet Society, favorite ko po yung Cooking Mama. Bakit? Cooking Mama masarap kumain. Diyan ka ba, Christian, natuto magluto? Sa Cooking Mama. Ayan, yung tipong nanggigigil ka na sa egg, kaka-whisk mo. Ayan. Pet Society kasi cute. Ayan. Kung alam ko nababasa niyo yung sinabi ni Ruben. Ayan. Cute kasi may sarili akong character. Hindi niyo dinadaya, ha? Pet Society. All right. I think nanalo ang Pet Society. Cooking Mama, mas enjoy yung process of cooking and yung nag-harvest ka ng sarili mong ingredients. Pet Society. Ayan. Very good. So, may mga cheat engine sa Pet Society. Ayun. So, yes. So, they have different types of scopes. It depends then on the type of entertainment that you are looking for. So, these going back to the question, what makes a game or a good game rather, are these answers that you have shared with us. So observing each other's feedback gives you an idea on the importance of creating a game. Hindi ka lang basta-basta gagawa ng game. Tulad nga ng feedback nyo, there are specific games that I have shared with you guys na dead end, hindi maganda, hindi nyo na nilalaro kasi nakakasawa na. No hugot intended. Ayan. And let's get more technical before we go. This is almost the last part of the presentation. Is for our final project in game development back in college, we created a game called SIPA. SIPA is a 2D mental game application that virtually transitions the Filipino outdoor game SIPA, which means to kick. A famous Filipino game especially made for children. Atcha, bakit mental game? Ayan, mental game kasi because it challenges your knowledge when it comes to the Filipino culture. Ayan, the lead washer or tansan. Ayan, guys, kung ayan yung English ng tansan. Moving forward, lead ba yan? Lead washer daw. A metal bottle cap with straws or plastic twine tied on top of is the pamato. It nurtures the Filipino culture through history questions. So I'm going to show you a demonstration video about SIPA.
In this video, I will be demonstrating our game titled SIPA. SIPA is an interactive history-based quiz game made in Unity 2D and C#. It is based on one of the Philippines' traditional native sport with the same name. Here's how to play the game. When clicking the Start button, the game will display two different modes. In selecting one, the instructions on how to play will be displayed. Then, when clicked on Next, the character screen will appear. We have 4 different characters, namely Totoy, Nene, Inday, and Manoy. The game features 2 different modes, Salom mode and Pindot mode. In Salom mode, the goal of the game is to choose the right answer to the questions that will appear on the upper panel of the screen by kicking the letter choices which will drop down through the form of SIPA. The left and right arrow keys are used for the character movement while the enter button for the kick. If the player were not able to kick a SIPA before it falls, the same choices will spawn again from the top. In Pindot mode, the controls are different. Instead of kicking the answers, it will drop down from the top and the player must type the answers as fast as they can before they fall further down the screen. When the timer ends, the game will prompt to display the leaderboard screen in which the player is required to put their name and if their score is qualified to be included among the top 3 highest scores. That ends our game. Thank you for watching.
Ayan. So, medyo nene pa yung boses ko dati. Ayan. What is your feedback for our game SIPA? Cute po nung characters. Wait, babasahin ko lang. Astig, ang galing. Tara, SIPA. Hoy. Cute po nung characters. Goods na goods po yan para sa typing test sa mga keyboard warriors, no? Cute ni Manoy. Sabi ni Lance, favorite character niya daw si Manoy. Idea lang po. Ang astig po, interactive po, may natututunan pa. Wow, Filipino game. First time ko makakita ng Filipino game. Kit ng design and matuto ka talaga sa laro. Ayan, very good. Thank you for your feedback, guys. So ito yung naging final output namin sa game dev ng course namin. Again, we use Unity 2D and C# as our tech stack or technology. Ayan. So let's go more technical when it comes to creating your game. In creating your game, of course, you need to create a product or project documentation for the planning phase. So we have these three categories. We have the project description. Ayan, bakit mo siya gagawin? Bakit need siya gawin? Ano yung impact niya? Ano yung purpose niya? We also have here the scope. Later, I will show you an example or yung mismong document namin. Ipapakita ko sa inyo. We also have the technical requirements. So you need to document or explain hardware, software, and the design part of your game. Next is development. You will be creating an IPO table, input, process, and output of each button, of each character, and of each process. So now this is the most tedious part of creating your game. As you can see, SIPA seems simple, but it has, of course, a lot of connections and call to action buttons to it. Ayan. And then in here, on the right side of the screen, nandito din yung diagram. Based on the demo video, we have the main menu. Under the main menu, we have two modes. Again, we have the salo, which the character will run and catch the falling um, tansan or lead pusher or something, and then go based on the right answer. Then we have mode 2, which is pindot. You're going to type the word that's falling from the screen. There's character selection, there's the gameplay, and then at the end of the flow, we have the leaderboards. Ayan. And design as well. So here is the document that we have submitted before. Ito yung project description niya. Ayan. If you want to read this thoroughly, I can also give the link to the organizers. We have here, as you can see, the scope. It's a single player game. Language is English. Character options, target players ages 10 and above. The targets provides players with academic related questions about Filipino history, my instructions, leaderboards, and SIPA. Ayan. The proposed game application will run on any computer browser. In here, we also provide in-depth description on how we created the game. So may hardware, meron siyang minimum requirements. So you also have to consider that. It says here it can run with the processor of Intel Core i3 with or AMD processor, etc. with these types of RAM and 500 gigabyte of storage. Ayan, and the software, again, we use Unity. And then for design, we use Figma. Ayan. If you haven't heard of Figma, it's a prototyping and wireframing tool. And here is an overview on how I created SIPA using Figma. Although I did not do prototype, if you're going to use Unity kasi, you need to download the assets one by one. For example, di ba nakita nyo paborito nyo si Manoy. Ayan si Manoy. So si Manoy, hindi lang isa yan. May different poses siya na nakatayo, nakasipa. Kanina ko napansin nyo, kinikindatan niya kayo kanina. Ayan, so we have to download these different types of assets. So I only put here in Figma. Ayan. Nilagay ko lang siya sa Figma para meron na kaming screenshot ng mga different types of screens. And then ang ginagawa namin before is dina-download namin yung assets separately. Pero creating the visuals, we have another team member who created these characters. And then nagtulungan na lang kami sa mga backgrounds, sa mga other assets. Tulad dito may lifeline siya and timer. Alright. So ayan yung technicalities niya. Okay. Before I end my presentation, what is your feedback about learning about the introduction to game development? Gabi na dito, di ba? Biglang ang bilis. Ayan. Any comments? Any takeaways for today's talk? Nagbabalak na ba kayong maging isang game developer? Masaya talaga mag-game dev. Concept is key, sabi ni Lance. Nakaka-enjoy. Interesting. How about the others? Pare-pares na yung nakikita ko. Ayan, dumadami na tayo dito. And I'm also seeing 11 people in our Facebook Live. Ayan, anybody else? Do you see yourself as a game developer in the future? Ayan, way to show creativeness. Yes, definitely. Ayan. Looks tedious, very interesting it is. Sobrang fulfilling niya pag na kompleto mo lahat at napagana mo na siya. Animation po mukhang mag-e-enjoy po ako. Masaya po mag-reverse engineering ng game. Ayan, very good. Thank you guys sa inyong mga feedback, and I'm going to end this presentation with a quote from Vineet Raj Kapoor. Sabi niya, the game gives you a purpose. The real game is to find a purpose. I'm going to leave you with that quote from our presentation. Ayan. And in here, I'm just going to give you more examples of your finding your purpose, especially when it comes to game development. So recently, I think it was last week, I was invited as a judge at GDSC PLM in their Ideathon. And one of the participants, actually sila lang yung kakaiba, they incorporated gamification in one of their proposed SDGs. And in here, they have proposed and pitched an application called Agila. Ayan, it says here it's a story-oriented game that immerses the player in the natural habitat of an endangered species. So, same then with SIPA, diba? The goal is to educate people when it comes to the endangered. Oh, hello?
Nawala po yung screen niyo.
Ay, nawala yung screen ko. Ayan, thank you for letting me know. I'll share it again. Ayan. Okay. Ayun, ito. This is the application. So, ito yung one of their pitches. Sila lang yung team na nag-apply ng gamification called Agilap. Ayan yung itsura niya. And with this, nagustuhan siya ng mga judges and yung goal din and intention and what makes it sustainable is that they have proposed this application and provided a feature of the game na there's a directory where you can volunteer. Ayan, para din siyang pagkakaintindi ko para siyang Tamagotchi or something na kailangan mong alagaan. Kaya mapapabalik-balik ka talaga kung gusto mong alagaan si Malaya, for example. So, and they ranked top 2 in the pitching competition. Ayan siya. And that ends my presentation. I hope you guys learned a lot today. I value your time as always. And let me know in the feedback form that I'll be sharing shortly about the topics that you want to learn next. Ayan. And where to find me? You can reach out to me if you have any further questions after this one on my Facebook page, Atcha Abe YouTube channel, Atcha Abe. You can also connect with me professionally on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. Aside from creating computer science content, I make other entertainment videos as well on YouTube. Ayan, I'll share the link shortly later. And if you want to see me more and learn with me more this coming month, I have the upcoming events on March 3. Ayan, di ako makaget over sa February. On March 3, I will be doing a Figma workshop at GDSC FEU Tech Main. Ayan, from 1 p.m. to 2. On Saturday, I have 2 talks. One with Swits Bulacan State University about wireless value realization, web development trends in UST. 17, I have a craftsmanship talk at PLM-CET Student Council. And last talk of the month would be at UST about the value of UX and integrating it in your workflow. Ayan. Thank you guys, and I'm ready when you are for the question.
Thank you so much po, Miss Atcha, for that knowledgeable talk po. Marami po kami natutunan. As IT student po, hindi ko pa po forte yung pag-game development po. Pero nagkaroon naman po ako ng idea kung paano po ako mag-start as game developer po. Actually po, hindi ko po talaga alam kung ano po yung mga programming languages na gagamitin po to create a game. Pero po yung sinabi niyo po kanina na Unity and C# po yung gagamitin is ngayon po at least alam ko na po sa sarili ko kung ano po yung mga game na gagamitin ko po. Ikaw, partner, ano naman yung insight mo sa talk ni ma'am?
Ang insight ko dito, sobrang dami kong natutunan dito kasi parang ako as IT, hindi ko iisipin kung gaano kahirap gumawa ng game bilang ako lang yung naglalaro. Pero kung makikita mo, sobrang hirap pala talagang gumawa ng game. Pero kung gusto mong gumawa talaga ng game, ang una mong iisipin, paano ka gagawa ng game? Syempre nga, katulad ng sinabi ni Miss Atcha, keep it simple. know your goal, practice makes perfect, consistency, yun yung mga ano, mga ano para magawa natin yung isang game. And now, let us give Miss Atcha Abe a certificate of appreciation and allow me to read the content. Certificate of appreciation is presented to Miss Athena Abe in grateful appreciation for their time and effort to impart their expertise and valuable knowledge. As a guest speaker for the topic, Introduction to Game Development in the NU Literates Google Developer Student Clubs, event entitled Litox, a webinar series with a theme of Game On from Concept to Creation. Give this first day of March 2023 at National University, Bulacan.
Signed by Brenny Ian Robles, Chief Operation Lead, John Mark Santos, Chief Executive Officer, Professor Samuel Espino, our advisor, Professor Eric C. Campano, BSIT Program Chair, Engineer Jenaline Columna, College of Engineering and Technology Dean, and Mr. Jason Raymond D. Bermudez, our Academic Director. Please accept this certificate as a token of appreciation of our organization. Thank you po, Miss Athena Atcha Abe.
Ayan, thank you din for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you po, ma'am. For both na nanonood ng live and here sa MS Team, you may ask a question here at slido.com. You may look for the PPT, just scan the QR code on your screen. And it will be attached in our chat box.
And while we're waiting, partner, meron ka bang gustong itanong kay Miss Athena tungkol dito sa game development?
Nawalan ako ng internet. Ako po, may tanong po ako, Miss Atcha po.
Okay, sige. Magkatabi naman pala kayo. Ba't di dala kayo sa isang
Opo.
screen? O, di ba?
Ito po yung question ko po. Kasi po yung 40 ko po is web designing po. Ask ko lang po, ma'am, kung sa tingin niyo po ba, ma'am, ano po yung mas mahirap sa dalawa? Gaming development po or web development po?
Game or web development, it depends kasi on the type of product or project that you're going to work with. So, may mga in game and development, pareho silang mahirap. Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Depende din, especially if you're going to do web and game development as a career. Sabi ni Anonymous Shish. So, yes nga, mahirap nga siya. And kaya siya mahirap is depende sa application na gagawin mo. Both web and game development, it depends on the type of scope that you're going to work on. May it be sabihin natin sa some people say madali sa web dev, ay kasi gagawa ka lang naman ng web page diyan, lalagay ka lang ng mga information diyan, mga text, mga hello world, tapos yun na yun, ilalagay mo lang sa domain, lalagyan mo lang ng host and everything's good to go. But it doesn't always work that way. Paano kung gagawa ka ng isang web application sa isang malaking company, di ba? Say, for example, you're going to create the next chat GPT website and it takes a lot of data for the AI to be able to learn ano yung i-respond sa'yo. Same goes with game development naman. Sa nakita nyo, tedious siya, pero the complexity is still based on the scope that you're going to create. If I'm going to differentiate it, walang mas mahirap. Depende siya sa gagawin mong application. And of course, hindi mawawalang may challenges when it comes to each field of game and web development. Since you also mentioned na mas interested ka sa web design, pwede ka pa rin makipag-engage and collaborate with people that has game development expertise. Pwede kang gumawa ng assets for them. Mga buttons, ganyan, gawa ka ng characters, and may separate team kasi na nag-animate yan para gumalaw yung mga gagawin mong assets or elements. So I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much po, ma'am. Ikaw, partner, may tanong ka ba kay Miss Atcha?
Ang tanong ko is, ano po yung part na pinaka-challenging sa inyo sa pag-develop ng game?
Ayan, ang pinaka-challenging talaga is yung coding part. Yung pinaka-mahirap kasi there are specific formulas and that time kasi limited time lang yung course namin for game dev. I think it was only, kung ito total namin, 2 weeks At ginawa na namin, ganun lang kaikli na nagawa namin yung sipa. Kaya naging challenging siya kasi limited time lang namin na-meet yung prof namin kasi that time it was COVID pa. So talagang nahirapan kaming mag-self-study kasi we didn't have direction. Parang kagaya lang namin before sa Atcha Entertainment, which took more time. And yun talaga yung naging challenge sa amin minsan na di na namin alam yung ginagawa namin, pero we still want to create talaga that type of game. The coding part, going back to your question, is the most challenging kasi it china-challenge talaga yung utak mo kung paano mo maiintindihan how things work together. Nakita mo yung bunny na ginawa ko, kaya tuwan-tuwa ako noon. Nagla-lunchtime na sila. Ako tuwan-tuwa ako nagbi-video ng ng output ko. It's because meron pang sa Unity kasi may mga gravity. Paano ba? Astronaut ba yung pinasukan ko class? Pero madami siyang things na ma-appreciate mo kasi talaga kung bakit mahirap ang game dev. So, coding again or programming is the difficult or crucial part of creating a game, I would say.
Thank you, Miss Atcha. Coding talaga, mahirap talaga yan sa buhay natin.
Ito lang po, one question lang po from Nationalian po. Tips daw po for beginners in gaming development.
Ayan, that's also a good question. So the tips for beginners in game development, like I have mentioned, if you want to start learning, start with the basics or fundamentals. Know how, kung ano ba yung para saan yung assets. Meron din tinatawag na camera when it comes to game development. Identifying or exploring the different type of game engines tulad ng Unity. Ayan, different types of programming language. One of them is C#. Ayan, do you want to create a 2D or 3D? Ano bang pinagkaiba nun? And of course, you can start with the scope, a simple scope of game that you can try especially if you're beginning your journey in game development. Another thing na wala kami na pwede nyong masimulan din is to always never be shy to ask for help. Ang dami nating game development communities sa Facebook and also sa mga YouTube, ganyan. So if na-stuck ka nagko-code ka or na-stuck ka, hindi mo mapatalon yung bunny, di ba? Yung akin nakahiga lang pati naata siya. Pero dun, you can ask. Ganon kami before, nung ginagawa namin yung final project namin with Sipa, is nagtanong talaga ako. Kasi sa mga game developers na kung tama ba yung ginawa namin syntax, may kulang ba, and malaking tulong talaga ang community. That's why I'm happy na meron kayong GDSC sa inyo Baliwag kasi it will help you reach out more sa mga professionals in the industry. Mas ma-upskill kayo ng mabilis. It won't take you longer than what other people used to experience before.
Ay, meron pa pong tanong dito. What computer did you use po when you were starting to game development?
Ayan, thank you for that question, Hans. So, senior high, nag-share lang kami before, pero nung nag-game development course talaga kami, my laptop was a Dell XPS 13. So, a Dell XPS 13 is one of the recommended ko din talaga na programming laptops. Right now, I am using a Dell XPS 15. i9. Pag programming talaga, yun yung isa sa mga titignan mo na specs when it comes to computers. The processors and especially with the graphics. Kung titignan nyo kanina, yung just going to read it here again, yung SIPA game namin, we say that it's minimum lang is Intel Core i3 or AMD Ryzen 3 processor with at least 2 gigahertz in any versions, 4 gigabytes of double data rate, DDR3 or DDR4 RAM with 500 gigabytes of storage. Nung experience namin with that SIPA, lagi nga talaga siya. So you really need to have a powerful computer. Hope maganda kung desktop, wag laptop. So yeah.
Ito po, ma'am, another question po. Curious lang po, Miss Atcha, if ano po yung specialization nyo or field of interest, how can you catch up sa mga trends and challenges, especially sa game industry po?
Ayan, naku Anonymous, inintroduce nila ako kanina, sinabi ko kung gusto yung field of interest ko, kung nakinig ka. Ayan, pero ako talaga, right now, being in the tech industry for almost 2.5 years, I would say. I've had experience with digital marketing in tech. I have experience as a community manager, as an application analyst, and now working as a support specialist and KCS coach. Madami na din akong na-explore na it made me realize kung ano talaga yung gusto ko ma-experience. And being a public speaker, nagkaroon talaga ako ng passion when it comes to becoming a CS professor. And when it comes to a tech field, cybersecurity talaga yung hopefully ma-pursue ko in the future. Pero going to your second question, how can you catch up po sa mga trends and challenges, especially sa game industry? Of course, you should always be updated with the news. Magandang way of resources for LinkedIn. Doon din ako nakakakuha ng mga balita, di ba? Mga marites dyan na ano bang bago sa game dev ngayon? Nagpo-post sila na pag meron silang mga nakitang bagong techniques, especially techniques or new tools that can help in your game development journey, heavily rely on talaga ako sa LinkedIn. Magandang professional platform siya. And also documentations and articles, especially in open source softwares. And of course, the communities din sa Facebook groups with the professionals. May mga centralized dyan na game development groups din.
Okay, another question po. Is it possible to use a machine learning to create a game?
Yes, it's possible. Most programmers, nakaka-create sila ng mga puzzle games with just simple programming languages, diba? Tulad ng Java, hinahaluan nila ng GUI or graphical user interface. From those, pwede kayo gumawa ng simple games, a simple type of puzzle games with different types of programming languages, especially if you're going to apply machine learning to it as well. So yes.
Ito po, ma'am, another question po ulit. What type of genre, concept, or theme of the game yung sa tingin niyo po is magiging popular sa current generation po?
Ayan, thank you Anonymous. Para namang feeling ko nasa Miss Universe na ako, pahirap ng pahirap. Genre, concept, theme. Game yung magiging mas popular. Of course, if you're going to create a popular type of game, saying current generation, is the goal of the game pangmasa, talaga na different ages, ganyan, or current generation is tayo, mga Gen Z, say for example. Of course, pansin ko, correct me if I'm wrong, based din sa mga sagot nyo, mabilis tayo magsawa. Ayan. So, gagawa ka dapat ng game na hindi ka agad magsasawa or makakapit ng interest mo. Napansin nyo sa mga sagot nyo kanina na you're not going to play the game anymore if kung paulit-ulit, tulad ng Among Us. So based din sa mga scenario kanina, those are the different ideas or example. And also, you can think of a game that you can make it more popular by improving it more. But that's how we would describe it as innovating. Ayan. So, with the themes, of course, tayo, iba-iba din naman yung mga themes na gusto natin. Pero as you can observe, a good storyline will definitely make an impact in creating a good game. And it will also nurture your personal experience. Say, for example, Animal Crossing, di ba? Parang tulad ng sabi niyo kanina, parang kaya ka naglalaro ng game or the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word game is para kang nasa out of this world. So, ayun siya, to answer your question.
Ma'am, last 3 question na lang daw po.
Okay.
Ito po ma'am, what are the status queue po ng game development in the Philippines? Are there opportunities in the country for game developers?
Yes. I don't know if hindi nyo napapansin, pero napakadaming game development companies and game development communities. One of them is the GDAP, or Game Developers Association of the Philippines. Ayan. And one of them is, although, kasi working as a technical community manager, I've been connecting to different community groups then, maybe web development, data analytics, mostly cloud, then with my line of work before. And napansin ko, connecting with game developer, Filipino game developers, currently inactive sila. But kasi yung iba nag-abroad or yung iba may sarili na silang company. Ganun sila na they weren't able to manage their small community anymore is because of how far they have reached with their skills as a Filipino game developer. So there's a lot of opportunities. Of course, obviously, from what I have witnessed, mas madaming opportunities if you're going to hit an international market. Pero with harnessing your skills, meron pa rin mga Filipino experts na you can reach out to. Actually, before I did this talk, I have I think he is a CEO if I'm not mistaken. Pero he was asking me ano daw yung ituturo ko sa inyong game engine. So but yeah, they're still there. They're still out there. They're still active and you can definitely connect with them. Malaking platform din talaga ang LinkedIn pero there's still opportunity for us Filipinos. Hindi lang natin nararamdaman, din natin napapansin is because they're international na and they're making a big name din for themselves as a game developer.
So this is the last
Yes.
two. Na-try nyo na po bang mag-game dev sa Python or Java or mas malawak po talaga ang magagawa if ibang language?
Ayan, good question. Yes. So Java pa lang, gumawa kami ng mini game with Java before. Nung senior high school, we created like type of game if I can remember correctly for employees from the company that we were working for as interns. We use Java. It's like an employee game that would identify. It's more on psychological kasi. That's why di ko siya masyado ma-describe. Pero Java pa lang and C# Python, hindi pa. So yes, definitely can try different programming languages to create the game.
Last question. Last no question na lang po talaga, ma'am. What should I do when facing writer blocks in producing game storylines?
Ayan, good question. Oh, nawala. Wait lang. Can I read that again, please? Okay. Ayan, so pag sa story block ka, always kaya maganda din talaga if for you to create your the project document that I have shared with you. If you're going to create a storyline, one way for you to keep going kung na-stuck ka or na mental block ka is to go back to your scope or to your goal. Para lang din siyang writing a book, 'di ba? Finding your purpose. Bakit ka nga ba gumawa ng libro? Nasa gitna ka na ng chapter na stuck ka, pero you need to go back and remind yourself kung ano ba talaga yung scope, yung theme or your purpose when creating a book. Same concept din with creating a game. So whenever you're stuck, just remind yourself, bakit mo ba 'to ginagawa? Para saan ba? And um, paano ka ba, ano ba, like, what type of impact do you want to give to the players or the users? Gusto mo ba ng cliffhanger na ending while you're doing your storyline? Or tulad ba ng God of War Ragnarok na iba-iba yung magiging outcome para lalaruin pa rin nila? So, yeah, I hope I answered your question, but always remind yourself of the scope or the goal of your game.
And this is the last question. What are some of the most important skills for a game developer to have, or what can you advise to us IT students that have interest in game development?
Ayan, the most important skill for a game developer to have, aside from thirst for knowledge and creativity, is to have a lot of patience. Kasi based on what I've experienced before, kung maikli yung pasensya nyo, kailangan yung habaan. Kasi it's definitely a challenge at first whenever you're coding. Parang it's easy for us to give up when we haven't seen the final product yet. And I believe it will be worth it if you have created a game, ayan, of your own or a project game. Kita nyo, sa bunny pa lang, tuwan-tuwa na ako, pero feeling ko parang gumagapong na talaga ako. Promise nung ginawa ko yun. Pero definitely patience and collaboration with the team. Always be open to different suggestions. Especially understand when creating a game, di ba? Pag game developer, ay gusto ko to gawin. Ganyan. Ganito lang gagawin ko. Gusto ko ganito, ganyan. Pero you have a team. Again, so you have to consider others' opinions that can also help you improve yung game and ma-meet yung goal nyo when creating the good game that you want to achieve. So I believe those are one of the important skills for you to have as a game developer, and especially going back to the question to those then who are interested to become a game developer.
Thank you so much, Miss Atcha.
And before we exit the game event, I want to call Miss Atcha again to leave us an inspirational message and give her a chance to plug where we can for her and promote her upcoming events.
Ayan, thank you. May ganito pa pala inspirational message. Pero, yeah, I think I'll keep this short as much as possible. I understand that as a student, it's very pressuring right now, whether or not first year ka, second year ka, third year ka, fourth year ka. Like, hala, ang bilis ng panahon. Pagkatapos nito, gagraduate na ako, hindi ko pa alam kung anong career yung gusto ko. Kaya lang naman ako nag-IT kasi yung kaibigan ko nag-IT siya. O kaya, biniri kasi ako ng mama ko ganon. These are the napansin ko when I was still in college, a lot of people are also concerned about this experience when it comes to identifying your career after or once you graduate. Back then, I realized what I wanted nung third year college ako. So, hindi ko talaga alam agad. Kaya ako nag-computer science kasi ginaya ko yung mama ko. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, nakita ko sarili ko working in front of a computer with a lot of paperworks. But if you're going to check, then yung naging journey ko, hindi ko pa din talaga alam kung ano yung gusto ko na field. I'm still exploring. And I believe that's a good way and opportunity for you then, guys, to expand your skills. And it's okay if wala ka pa nung specific na skill, if you don't know how to do game development yet, it's always a learning opportunity for us. That's why we have these types of events. I hope you guys appreciate it. The organizers worked hard for you to be able to provide with you with this opportunity na hindi tinuturo sa inyo sa school. Ayan. And always connect with other people. I know with the curriculum in the Philippines, there's more to learn. So always, it's a good way for you guys to do advanced studying. And I hope na you learned a lot. Again, thank you for your time. You can check the feedback link that I sent here in the chat. Send it there. Kung may gusto pa kayong topics, let me know. So I would take note of that. And also, connect with me on my socials. I would just send it again. And yeah, thank you everyone. And I hope I see you again soon on my next event this month.